What is up, peeps? What's good? What's happening? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina. If you are new here, then welcome. And today I am just doing a very casual sit-down chit-chat video with you guys. Some of you asked me on my other social media if I would mind doing a 6-month update on my lupus diagnosis. What it is an autoimmune disease that affects your organs and it affects your body in a way that your body attacks itself. Your body has this like good bacteria and bad bacteria in your body, and people with lupus, they don't have those type of antibodies or bacteria, or they don't have the resources inside their body to help them fight sicknesses, viruses, illnesses, diseases, or anything like that. So someone such as myself, if I was to get sick, it could be lethal. Now, my 6-month update is I actually have a rheumatologist appointment in a couple of weeks for a follow-up, and I take Plaquenil once a day, every single day, and that is a medication that I will have to remain taking for the rest of my life. My rheumatologist, the last time I saw him, put me on a medication. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was a immunodepressant. And what it does is actually like breaks down your immune system even more to help build your immune system to teach it how to fight off certain illnesses and diseases. However, when I was put on that medication, I was so deathly ill that I could not get up off the couch. I was nonstop throwing up for 5 days straight, and I lost like 10 to 12 pounds from that. After that, I went back to my rheumatologist and I requested that he take me off the immunodepressant because it wasn't working for me. It was making me sicker. I couldn't handle it. My rheumatologist did mention that it takes about 3 to 6 months for certain kind of medications to start working, or for your body to start noticing a difference, or for it to actually start helping. But I refused to take that. It didn't work for me. I was so super sick that I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I'm not on that anymore. The only thing that has been working so well for me is Plaquenil. It helps with all of the lupus symptoms, and it helps me to be able to get up every day and do my day-to-day duties as a mother and wife. That leads me into the symptoms of lupus. Well, people ask me all the time, well, what are your symptoms of lupus and how did you get diagnosed? 9 times out of 10, a rheumatologist will test you with an ANA test, and that will determine your blood on what levels that you're at to be diagnosed with lupus. There is not one single test out there that 100% determines on whether or not somebody has lupus. You have to have like 11, I think it's 11 or 12 symptoms, and you have to have, I believe, 9 out of those 11 symptoms for your rheumatologist to actually say, yeah, you have lupus. You can go in to be tested for lupus one day and you could have a positive ANA. You know, a couple weeks later, you can go in and have another blood test done and be tested and have a negative ANA. It just depends. It depends on your doctor. It depends on your symptoms. It depends on your blood results. The first couple of times that I went in, they kept telling me no, that I didn't have lupus because my test results came back negative. I switched doctors and I went to a different doctor, and then I went to an actual rheumatologist, and she said to me, you absolutely have an autoimmune disease and you absolutely have lupus and you definitely have rheumatoid arthritis. They did x-rays on my hands, and I have arthritis and inflammation through the roof in my hands, and that's where it affects me the most. I have days where I can't even make a fist. I have days where my hand literally gets stuck like this and I can't move. My arthritis is worse in my right hand, obviously, because I'm right-handed and that's the hand that I use the most. I oftentimes now cannot grip things. I can't open jars. I can't sweep or mop or anything where I'm gripping the broom or anything like that if my lupus and arthritis is flared up. Now, there's several things that I do for my health to keep those symptoms down. I take Epsom salt baths, use CBD oil serum and rub. Also, other things that lupus has caused. Number 1, rheumatoid arthritis. Number 2, I now have Sjogren's syndrome. And example, I stutter and trip over my words because of these autoimmune diseases, because it causes neurological damage in your brain. A lot of the times, if you're wondering why I stutter or why I trip over my words or why I just can't get a word out, or I sound funny, I don't pronounce things right, it's because of the autoimmune disease that I have and the way that it's affecting my brain. Also, that leads to my autoimmune disease hearing loss. I have severe hearing loss in both ears. I am practically deaf in one ear. Because my lupus and my autoimmune diseases are progressive, and it has already started to take my hearing, that within the next 2 years, I can completely lose my hearing altogether. I have a consult that I have to go to for cochlear implants, and it's where I would have to have surgery on my ears and then put an implant, and I have to wear one of those things behind my ear to help transmit and translate and amplify noise through my ear to my brain. I have been avoiding that appointment because I am 34 years old and I don't want to have to relearn how to hear. I just don't know if I'm at that time and point in my life that I want to have to redo all of those things. But it's also very important that I don't 100% lose my hearing either. I do have 3 children. I am married. You know, I don't want to lose my hearing completely. There's so many things that I miss out on because I cannot hear. I cannot hear a baby crying. I cannot hear, unless a baby's screaming, but I can't hear like their baby noises that they make. I can't hear a kitty meowing. I can't hear a washer and dryer like beep when they're done. I cannot hear a microwave beep when it's done. I cannot hear birds chirping and singing. You know, any kind of doctor I've ever seen, an ENT, an audiologist, I've seen so many specials over the course of the past 5 or 6 years, and not a single person can determine what my hearing loss was caused from. After I saw my rheumatologist, she got together with my audiologist. We were talking and discussing, and my audiologist told her that I severely failed my hearing test and that I am practically deaf, and that when my audiologist spoke to my rheumatologist and realized how bad and progressive that my lupus disease is, he also said it is in fact that she has an autoimmune disease hearing loss. My entire life I have struggled with this hearing loss. And my entire life I have struggled with all of these health issues that nobody can determine what was wrong with me or why these things were happening. Or a lot of times they would just treat me for like head cold or like a flu virus or something. Or they would give me, you know, anti-inflammatories like, you know, Tylenol, ibuprofen, just over-the-counter stuff that never worked for me. Speaking of stomach, I now have what is called celiac disease. How you be tested for that is you have to go in and see a specialist, and you have to have an endoscopy. That is a wheat and gluten intolerance and like food allergies. Before I even was diagnosed with these diseases, I knew that wheat and gluten affected me really bad. Like red meat, red sauces, anything hot and spicy or anything like that, I couldn't eat anymore. Cheese, anything like that affected me so bad. So over the course of the past few years, it has become so bad that it was putting me in bed. So now I'm wheat and gluten free, or trying to be. It's very, very difficult. I'm forever grateful that God blessed us and sent us down here to Texas. We're so much more happy, comfortable, and content down here. I have amazing health insurance thanks to my husband and his federal job. I have amazing specialist doctors down here. I know that a lot of my fellow Luppies out there don't have that. I know a lot of my fellow Luppies have it way worse than me. And my heart and soul and my prayers go out to all of you, because I know and I get it and I understand. So far, I feel fortunate that it's not affecting any of my organs right now. It's not affecting anything serious at this point in my diagnosis. There's a lot of things that have been slowly happening to me over the course of this 6 months, and that would be my cystic acne. I have been seeing a dermatologist for my acne, and just everything that she has tried for me hasn't been working. And so she really believes that my skin is being affected by my lupus. I have these blood blisters and cystic acne right here, really bad. I've been on a medicated wash. I've been on medication. I've also been put on birth control to kind of balance out my hormones to try to help my acne. I've been on those for the past 3 months. It's not helping anything. And that is something that is a symptom of lupus also, and that a lot of people have problems with. I break out in hives randomly, probably on a daily basis. And I get these really big welts, and they itch and sting and burn so bad, and nothing that I use or work will help or calm them down. I get these red bumps all over my arms and stuff like that. I'm cold all the time. My hands turn purple down here and at the tips of my fingers. I have become very, very sensitive to the sun. The sun is something that will affect me immediately. As soon as I step outside and the sun hits me, it's bam, I am out for the count. If I am not in a air-conditioned vehicle, an air-conditioned home, if I'm not somewhere where there's shade, I mean, I will get sick immediately and start having vertigo, fatigue, nausea, and I start to feel like I'm passing out. I break out in a fever. It's really bad. So, which that really sucks, because I love the sun. I love to lay out in the sun, but unfortunately I cannot do that anymore. Lupus is genetic. And a lot of times people don't know that or don't understand that. So 9 times out of 10, somebody in your family had to have had lupus. My grandma had it on my dad's side. It's one thing after another. One autoimmune disease will cause another autoimmune disease. When I started taking those immunosuppressant drugs that I had my rheumatologist take me off of, I started having blood in my urine. It is a sign of kidney disease. And so that started to frighten me a bit. So I am going to go back to my rheumatologist and have him test me for kidney disease or infection or whatever the case may be. I believe that you can have that done by a urine test or urine sample. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you can have a kidney biopsy as well. So I'm hoping that I don't have to do that or go through that, or I'm really praying that it's not painful. Speaking of biopsy, the other thing that lupus and these other autoimmune diseases are causing in my body is lymph nodes and fibroids. I now have a lump in my breast, on my right breast. That lump has been there for a couple of years. I have had last year I had a mammogram and a biopsy done, or in 2016 I had that done back in Alaska. They did a biopsy on it and it came back negative. Nothing was cancerous, thank God. In December of 2017, like last month, I had a breast ultrasound and a mammogram done, and the lump is still not cancerous. So thank you, Jesus, for not having breast cancer. I also have a fibroid in my right ovary and 2 fibroids in my left ovary. It causes a lot of pain and discomfort during my menstrual cycle every month. During that time, my lupus gets extremely flared up, and that's when I'm the most sick. Now, with that being said, I have to see a OBGYN specialist for those issues. So I have all different kinds of doctors. I'm seeing an eye doctor, speaking of which, Plaquenil will affect your eyes over time. So I have to have my eyes checked every 6 months because of the medication I take. And I already have bad eyesight as it is. I'm practically blind. I have contacts in right now. I wear glasses every day. I have to see a dentist every couple of months for an exam and a cleaning because the Plaquenil and the other medications that I have to take are affecting my teeth, making my gums recede and causing decay. I now have 8 cavities and have to have a root canal because of this lupus disease. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. Over the past 6 months, I do get really sick about once or twice a month. Lupus is non-curable. It's a chronic, debilitating disease. The 2 symptoms that get me the most are migraines and fatigue. Sometimes they just come out of nowhere and they hit you like a freight train, and there's nothing you could do about it. Nothing you take is gonna make it go away. What works for me is mind over matter, and you have to stay positive, and you have to surround yourself with positive people. You have to weed out the toxic people and relationships and food and whatever in your life. That is what's going to keep your lupus flares down. Eating healthy, working out, you know, making sure that you stay with your follow-up appointments and you keep in contact with your doctors. It really helps a lot to have a really great doctor who listens and understands you and supports you. But getting up, dressing up, you know, doing your hair, doing your makeup. I live by the motto, when you look good, you feel good. And this makes me feel good, you know, doing hair and makeup and, you know, doing my YouTube. I do this because this is what I love. This is what I enjoy, and because I'm passionate about it. And I have days where I ask myself, what I'm doing even worth it? And I had a friend of mine today who tagged me in a post. She has RA also. She thanked me for supporting her and being there for her. And that's all that matters to me. I just want to be able to be that positive inspiration for my other fellow Lupies or other fellow RA people out there. You are not alone. There's always somebody out there who's dealing with the same things that you're dealing with, who's going through the same type of things that you're going through. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to somebody, even if it's not somebody that you know. Join a lupus Facebook support group. Don't be afraid to continue living your life. Do not let lupus define you. I do not let this define me. I am still me. I am not dead yet. I am still here. I have 3 children and an amazing husband to live for. I know that my first lupus video that I did, that was literally 2 days after I was diagnosed with lupus, and it was a very hard pill to swallow. I had to break it to my kids and my husband and my family, and you know, I'll link that video up there so you guys can see my real raw emotions and how I responded to that. I just want to thank all of you for being there for me and supporting me, and your private messages, your comments, you know, on my social media. Go follow me over on Facebook at The Honest Wife. I'm pretty active there. I post a lot of updates about my health there. Again, thank you all so much for your positive support and being there for me on my good days and my bad. I love all of you. Thank you for your support. And if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. I will do another updated video, or follow me on my Instagram. Also, I'm very active there on my Instagram stories as far as letting you guys know my health updates. In the next 2 weeks, I have a lot of appointments coming up, so I will update you guys again. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Bye.